Thanks for joining us today on the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Lee Goodson, and I'm joined by my co-host, Dr. Greg Stone, here at the McKeon Center for Creativity in downtown Tulsa. Good afternoon, Greg.
Hello. How are you, Dr. Goodson?
I'm doing well. It's a sunny winter afternoon. We did get a couple of hours of snow today. And is this the last afternoon that you will record when you are the Metro Provost?
It depends.
On if we get a recording in the next 10 days or something?
Or how long I might be covering both campuses. So, yeah.
There's that.
There is that.
There's
so
that.
We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll have a different one.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Okay. Our guests today are our Dean of Student Affairs, which is Student Life, Jenny Beatie, and our recently elected Student Government Association President, Billie Barrett E. Silva.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Good to be
We're
here.
excited that you're here. And just today, we had the first ever induction ceremony for our SGA officers, and it was very nice. And you did a great job of being a leader today, and you're a great leader among your peers, so just appreciate you being here and you stepping up. And a little bit of trivia. Lydia Alpert, who's one of our new officers, her mom was my kid's piano teacher, and I haven't seen her in like 4 or 5 years, and so I got to sit by her and catch up. And so Miss Alpert is all over the music scene in Tulsa, and so anyway, it was good to see parents and grandparents and kids there today, like her and her grandma were there. So anyway, we're excited to have both of you here today. Thanks for being here. So it's the beginning of a new year for SGA leadership. Who are the college's newly elected SGA officers?
Okay, so currently we have 7 new officers, and we have 1 vacant position still open, which is the Director of Finance.
Okay, and are you looking for applications for that one?
Yes, so we have our first meeting on February 1st from 12 to 1. That's a change. Normally they're typically from 1 to 2, but this semester it'll be from 12 to 1 on just February 1st.
Okay.
And so during that, students will have an opportunity to apply if they want to, and then we will do a voting process from there, and if anyone's not elected at that time, then we'll just wait till the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But your other officers are?
Yeah, so our other officers are Palmer Tentley. He is the Vice President, and his current goal for TCC is engineering, getting an associate's in engineering. And then we also have Brianna Fitch. She's pre-nursing, and she's the parliamentary. We have Karen Espalzo, and she is getting a major in world languages and focusing on Japanese and Spanish. She's our Director of Administration. We have Lydia Alpert, who was mentioned earlier in this segment, and she's going for interior design and architecture. She is the Director of Communications. We have Kevin King. He's going for marketing, and he's our Director of Marketing. We have Angie Bell. She's going for pre-med, and she is the Director of Membership. And that is all. And then myself.
And I met Palmer in line for lunch.
Yes.
And he has invented a single waffle making machine, kind of like a
Keurig.
Yeah,
Yes.
like you do
He's
for
also
coffee.
invented many other things.
Many things.
And he's trying to do stuff college-wide now for the community college, and he's brilliant.
He's brilliant.
And he's only like 18 or 19 years old.
I need one of these single waffle making machines.
You should buy one.
Well,
he has them.
Yeah, he said he had to put it into another revision because he felt like there was too much waste. So the the waffle batter was in like K-cups.
Yeah.
And he felt like there was just too much waste in all of that. And so he's trying to do a redesign to where it's a little bit more environmentally friendly.
Dr. Stone, I think we put
I was
him
going
down
to
for
say, I'm sitting in our podcast segment one day.
we're going to put him down for a podcast.
He's a very interesting young man.
Well, Billy, let
Great.
me ask you, what made you decide to want to run for SGA President? Because you've been an officer.
Yes.
You were an officer last year. So what made you want to take the big leap and get into that role?
First of all, like, I really love people in general. I just think they're beautiful, and I think everyone deserves an opportunity. And so I felt like with loving people and helping students, that this would provide a better opportunity just to resource with the resources that community college offers for students, because there's so many, and so many students just don't know what is out there. And so I just think having the opportunity to network, now that we're one college, I can be that kind of direct source to bring it back to the team and then to help students more. So this gave me an opportunity and a platform to do so.
What's your major?
It's education and psychology.
Yep, there you go. Helping people.
What's your
Sure
plan
helper.
after you graduate from TCC?
So I plan right now, I'm on a scholarship program through the George Kaiser Foundation.
Nice.
So I plan to follow through with OU. And the scholarship requirement is to be a teacher in the state of Oklahoma for 4 years. My husband currently doesn't want to stay in Oklahoma, but I'm hoping that we can work through that and I can eventually finish out teaching here and then go into some sort of psychology for children or adults as well. Yeah.
It's always about staying or going, and it just seems like we need people to stay to keep
I feel
improving,
that,
and
too.
so much is happening here, and
Yes.
it's a great time to stay.
I think so too. And I feel
Yeah.
like Tulsa is progressing and being more inclusive, and I think it's getting better and better. And my husband wants to keep going so that he can go somewhere where that's already that. But if we, as progressive thinkers, keep going out, then Tulsa's going to, you know,
Right.
we want to help
Right.
change and
Yeah.
become better.
It's about being part of the positive change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Well, tell us about your top priorities for SGA this year.
So this year, we just finished having our official planning meeting for the year. And so with that being said, we're planning on April 12th to have a student conference, and that more details will come later for that. We're also planning 4 lunch and learns, so we'll have speakers coming in to speak with us about we have some community leaders coming in and some also leaders at Tulsa Community College. And so that just gives an opportunity for education for students. We're going to have 3 survey days where we plan to go in to the different colleges and discuss what their needs are and the problems that they're facing or the positivity that they're seeing, and then be able to relay that back to try to make some more changes. And then we also have a trip to the Capitol coming up on March the 6th, and that's just to educate students on civic engagement.
That sounds really exciting.
Well, it's always great at how active our SGA members are statewide too. You know, there's so
Yes.
much on your plates here,
We have
and,
OSGA
and
as
you
well.
all are very active, and we've had officers who've been OSGA officers, and so lots of good work going on statewide too. This is the Big Blue Podcast. I'm Greg Stone here with Dr. Lee Goodson, and our guests today are Jenny Beatie, our Dean of Student Affairs for Student Life, and Billie Barrett E. Silva, who's this year's SGA President. Jenny, a couple of years ago, SGA went from 4 campus SGAs to 1 college entity.
Right.
Why that decision, and what's come out of it? Because my sense is it was a really smart move to
Awesome.
make. Right?
So 2 years ago, we were still 4 SGAs. So to think about how far we've come in less in a year and a half,
It's
really
been amazing.
has been
the
amazing.
The transition has been very swift and successful.
So those of us who are living and breathing student affairs, we knew and could see the vision. And so it was a lot of vision casting kind of on my part and the part of some other people at first, because the students we have, so many of them have not had the opportunity to experience, an SGA at a different school. And so you don't know what you haven't experienced. And so we did a lot of vision casting, talking to students about, what it could look like and the benefits of that. And it was not met with open arms, because they were just apprehensive. They knew what they were doing was working well from their perspective. So we talked a lot about that and the benefits that could come out of a one college SGA. And some of the things that we've seen, so to back up a little bit, so in the fall of 2017, we elected our first college-wide SGA. So that was a 1-semester SGA team. And we really kind of coined them our transition team, because they just served for 1 semester, and they really kind of helped us get our feet wet, write a lot of policy, rewrite the Constitution, all of those kinds of things. And then in November of last year, so November of 2017, we elected our first full year slate of officers. And they took office last January, so a year ago. And so what we've seen since then is we've seen increased numbers at our SGA meetings. So if you take our numbers individually for the 4 SGAs, our numbers of attendance at SGA meetings, and add those together, we have greater attendance now as a one college SGA, even though we rotate those meetings between campuses. So even though students are having to go to a different campus for our one college SGA meeting, our numbers are still greater. And every meeting we're having to bring in chairs.
That is awesome
That's really
news.
great.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Well,
And
and
the
the other-
students are traveling too.
Right.
Like we're seeing
Exactly.
consecutive. Some are just at their campuses, but we're seeing consecutive.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, and the other thing too that you've done by going on a calendar year schedule instead of an academic year,
Right.
you're ensuring continued leadership for the fall, so you're not really losing part of that fall semester when otherwise you would just be bringing potentially a brand new
Right.
group of students on board for leadership. So
Yeah. In reality, we really had about 6 or 7 months of active student government leadership in our old format, because by the time we got the fall semester rolling and we got the word out that students could apply and then had elections and got them onboarded and all of that, it was really October before we could do a whole lot. And then by April, things are kind of winding down. And so all of May, June, July, August, and some of September, we didn't have any real formalized leadership. And so you're right, that's been a great part of all of this transition, and the students have just done amazing with everything. Yeah.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Because you always wonder if you consolidate something like that, if your numbers are going to go down. And the fact that it's just expanded the opportunities. And I've noticed, I know that at the state level we were well represented, but even more so now that I think we are, since we are one SGA. I get feedback from the state regents about how strong our program is, even more than before, actually.
Yeah, and I think, again, that goes back to when our students are making decisions, they're making them from that one college perspective.
Absolutely.
Rather than 4 presidents coming together and then trying to agree. It's just, many people just make a stronger voice.
So this can be for either one of you, really, but what kinds of opportunities are there for students to grow when they're involved in SGA, officer or not,
So I think current opportunities to grow, being in leadership, we have advisors that work closely or who are in student life or work closely with student life. And we get a lot of scholarship opportunities, and not just for ourselves, but scholarship opportunities that we can pass out to other students. And I think that's really important for a community college for the students, because that really helps us get through these first 2 years of school. And so that's I feel like some of and then leadership experience, getting to know I feel like this is a professional career for us right now, like going to college. We're professional
It
college
is.
students.
Absolutely.
And so just learning from a professional standpoint in the position some of us work in the college. We have multiple officers who work in the college. So just learning to grow with that, I feel like is more opportunities to help us further our goals, career goals.
Great.
And we've had students who have been strong SGA leaders and have gone on to 4-year institutions to be strong
SGA leaders there.
Yes.
Nice.
We had Katie Crocker, I'll never forget. Katie Crocker came to Southeast Campus as a concurrent student and was elected SGA President at Southeast Campus as a concurrent student. She served and then went on to UT Austin, I think, and went into student government there. And then Andrew Steadley was a really strong student government leader, and he went on to OSU to really make his mark there, ran for SGA President. And so, it's been a great opportunity for a lot of students to kind of get their feet wet and learn the ropes in a great, safe environment, and then move on to those places where it's a bigger platform.
That's great.
Well, we're at the end of our time, so we're going to ask both of you the question that we ask everybody. And Jenny, you've been with us before, right?
I have.
Yeah, so
I know the question.
you know the question. And feel
the
free to
answer's
change the
gonna be
answer.
the
It's gonna be the same. Billy, let's start with you. If you could go back in time and give your 18-year-old self, before starting college, some advice, what would you tell yourself?
So I'm older. I'm almost 30 this year. And so I would say going to college maybe right away, because waiting so long, I've got a lot of life experience and I got to do a lot of things in those years, but it is harder. Like, education is harder to go through. And so I feel like maybe just taking one class a semester would be something instead of full time. And so maybe I would say that, like, going to college right away.
Jenny, what about you?
And my answer is that I am a first-generation college student, and I went off to the big world of Iowa State University 4 hours from home, which was it was a great thing to do. But I didn't realize all the opportunities for things that were at the college in terms of the different majors and things like that. And Dr. Stone and I both have an English degree, and I love my English degree. I've put it to great use, but I don't think it's necessarily my passion. And so I wish that I would have taken advantage of some opportunities to do a little bit more career exploration and find that path. And I'm grateful for the way it turned out, because when I finished and I was about to graduate, I didn't really think I wanted to go teach English. So then I decided to go to grad school and do student affairs. And so I'm grateful for the way it turned out, because I'm so blessed to be doing what I'm doing. But that's what I would say. Explore a little bit more in terms of careers and things like that.
And find
Majors.
what your passion is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find your passion.
Good.
Well, you've been listening to the Big Blue Podcast. We want to thank our guests, Jenny and Billy. Thank you so much for being here, and what a great day at the Student Government Association induction ceremony. We'd like to thank you both for spending time with us today, and we want to thank you for listening. Remember, you can catch the Big Blue Podcast each week on The Week at TCC and on the Creativity Channel on YouTube. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.